And there's some things that I don't understand with Nightster and Nightster S. Alright everybody, what is up? What is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. We are out on the beautiful streets of Philadelphia right now, taking a look at the Ben Franklin Bridge over there. And it's not too often you get a 65-degree day in February, but that is what we're working with, and I'm not complaining one bit because this 65 sunny degree day actually coincides with a day that I just so happen to have off work, so I don't think we could plan that one out any better. So obviously we had to pull the bike out. We're out on the Sportster Iron 1200 right now, getting a quick little ride in through Philly on this lovely day in February. But anyways, I was wanting to get everybody's feedback out there today on something that I had been thinking about. I've been thinking about the new Nightster S that Harley Davidson just came out with. Obviously they just had a little bit of their release of the 2023 models. Obviously they came out with the liquid cooled Nightster last year, basically that interpretation of basically what we know, pretty much as the new Sportster with the Rev Max 975 liquid cooled engine. That's pretty much thinking that's what we're going to have moving forward as the Sportsters. And then obviously they went ahead and this year came out with the 2023 Nightster S. So now we got the Nightster S and the regular Nightster. And when they first came out with the regular Nightster last year, I thought it was pretty cool. I think all the specs and everything looked pretty cool. Maybe some of the styling, for whatever we think of this new Sportster, had a lot of different takes. A lot of people had their opinions on that, but whatever. For the most part, generally, I would say that it looks pretty cool. I'd like to ride one sometime in the near future. And so then, of course, like I said, they come out with the Nightster S, and that is where my confusion comes from. And there's some things that I don't understand with Nightster and Nightster S. Obviously we know there are some differences and enhancements to the Nightster S, but I'm curious to get everyone's opinion and feedback out there. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the Nightster and Nightster S. I'm gonna let you know why I don't understand necessarily Harley's thought process or direction with these two bikes. I'm gonna run through some of the reasons that I just don't understand. Basically, the need for both of them. What is the need for both of those motorcycles in the lineup? Because to me, these are very, very similar bikes here. And I don't necessarily understand, what's the purpose of both of them? They're so similar. Some of these differences are just so minuscule that there almost doesn't seem to be a reason to have both of them. And I'm going to let you know in a minute which one I think there's really the only reason for in the lineup. But again, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to run through kind of the differences in comparison of these here, where these differ, and let's find out if there is really a reason for Harley to have both of these in the lineup. Obviously, there's some bigger brains at Harley than me. Obviously, I've been wrong before. Must be some reason why Harley wants to have both of these in the lineup. But anyways, if you take a look at these two bikes, if you start right up at the front, this is where you'll start to notice a little bit of the styling differences. We'll throw up some of these pictures here as we go through them. We'll do Nightster S over on this side, we'll do regular Nightster over here, but obviously, like I was saying, starting at the front, you're going to see the cowl on the Nightster S, the little speed screen there, and then on the regular Nightster, you're going to have just a naked front end. So that's one of the differences right off the bat there from some of the styling and cues of that. I think that was actually different last year. I think the regular Nightster, when it was first released last year, did have the little cowl and speed screen on there. So styling differences there. Again, sticking with the front of the bike, some of the differences here, you're going to see the differences of the wheels. So the Nightster S gets the different styling of the wheels. You've got the silver cast aluminum wheels. Pretty cool design right there. I do like that a lot. Regular Nightster, you've got that cast aluminum black finish with the 7-spoke type mag looking type wheel there. I like both wheels, but that's where you're going to see another pretty significant change from the Nightster S to the regular Nightster. So then as you continue to take a look down the bike there, you're going to start to see a difference in the handlebars as well. So another big difference there on the Nightster S, you've got about, looks like a 2 to 3 inch rise on the handlebars. Regular Nightster, a very low rise. You're a lot tighter to the tank with the handlebars. So then that brings us up to our next really big difference, is where you've got those differences in technology capabilities. with the Nightster S. So obviously Harley went ahead and put that TFT LCD display on there with the Nightster S, which you just kind of have that analog combination LCD speedo on the regular Nightster. So that's one of the huge differences there, kind of with that technology piece. I think that's going to be one of the really big main drivers of why someone would take the S over the regular Nightster, is really to just get those enhanced features of that display. One of the biggest main differences of the S to the regular Nightster. So then now, as we slide back down through the length of the bike, everything is pretty much going to remain pretty close to the same until we get to the rear, which we'll go over in just a second. But the power plant, the RevMax 975, the mid controls, the frame, all that stuff is going to remain the same through the middle of the bike until, again, we get to the rear. So once you get to the back of the bike, that's where you're going to start to see some of those differences again, where the Nightster S is going to come stock with that setup of the passenger pillion and passenger pegs, to where the regular Nightster, you're coming with just that solo seat. So those are some of the really kind of just big styling difference and a little bit of technology differences between those two bikes there. Now, because of the differences and some of those enhancements of the Nightster S, that bike is going to come in at a price of $14,999, and the regular Nightster is going to come in at a price of $13,499. So then that begs the question, are those upgrades and enhancements to the S worth it over the regular Nightster? Obviously the big chunk of that, like I said, is going to be that more enhanced TFT LCD display with the technology packed into it and those styling cues. So that's one of the things that you got to take into consideration. In my opinion, I would say that I do think that about $1,500 is probably worth it to go with the S. I think the handlebars look better. I think the wheels look better. I do think that amount of money is worth it. But that brings me back to my original question, is what I don't understand is, what are the point of having both of these bikes in the lineup? That's really my main question for you guys out there. Let me know what you guys think after running through a lot of those comparisons, similarities, differences, and if I missed any differences down there as well, be sure to let me know. But I mean, that's really kind of my confusion, and the thing that I don't understand is what's the point of having both of these? Like, you've got the S, I think it's going to sell better, I think it looks better, it's got the technology of the gauge. I mean, just have that bike as your primary Nightster bike. I don't necessarily understand what the need for both is, or I would even be fine had they just go with the Nightster the way it was. So, but like I said, there's a lot of people at Harley making a lot more money than I do making these decisions and that we do for judging them. But like I said, I just don't understand, like, is there really necessity for both of those bikes in the lineup? I know a lot of the time you can kind of pinpoint the rider that these bikes apply to across the lineup, and I don't see any difference between, you know, riders that are going to select these bikes. Price point's not that much different, their functionality is exactly the same, and I think in most cases you're going to see people just opt up to say, all right, you know, $1,500, give me the Nightster S. So is this kind of something that Harley might move to in the future, where they just get rid of that regular Nightster, just keep the Nightster S in the lineup? I don't know, it's hard to tell. Once again, let me know what you guys think down there. Is it necessary for both of these bikes to be in the Harley-Davidson lineup? Nightster S, Nightster, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what your opinions are on both of those bikes in the lineup. So we just pulled into FDR Park down here in South Philadelphia, past the sports complex, the stadium, Citizens Bank, Lincoln Financial, and that is going to wrap this one up for today. As always, if you like anything we got going on here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell them to stop by, say hello. As always, we will catch you on the next one. Make it a good one, guys. It's the Moto Jawn. We'll see you on down the road. Peace.